What's up? What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome in. You didn't think you'd see me one more time. You thought that maybe, you know what, the mock draft that I put out, what was it, last week? Was it last week that I put that out? That was the last time you guys were going to see me, that, we don't get to see another mock draft from Ricky and MVP again. Oh, no, 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 as Dikembe Mutombo would say, as I am here for one more time. The final mock, the mock of all mocks. This is where, like Jake earlier this week, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. I'll probably put something up above me so you can click on it, check it out after you're done with this video. But he got to do his final mock draft, the hold him to us. With me, mine, more rumors have come out. So I'm like, you know what? I want to do one. This is just going to be a first round mock draft, not doing anything crazy with a full second round. If you want second rounds, Jake did 2 rounds. My last one, my 3.0, was a 2-rounder as well. And this is it. This is the final mock you get before we get to see what happens in the draft. Before I go over rules and everything, just some quick housekeeping. Number one, if you want to support us, make sure we can keep doing this content and then even do better content. Make sure to support us if you can. Patreon.com/MVPvids or become a channel member. Both of those are down below in the description. They're both the same thing. Either way, you help us out and you get rewarded for doing so. Usually these mocks, patrons and channel members get a week early, but you know, with something like this, can't do it a week early when the draft is tomorrow. Also, if you want to talk draft, you want to talk NBA, we have a Discord. The MVP Discord is popping off every single day. Can join that for free down below in the description as well. We got the best community, the greatest community in the universe. So you can join that for free. That is down below as well. Little caveat about my draft. This is people coming into mine. I do things different than Jake does. Now, Jake and Soapy did no trades. Jake was like, oh, if you want to see trades, go to Ricky. That's number one. I do trades. I work out, okay, which teams are trying to move up, which could possibly move down. I want to give you that authentic experience. Number two, if you're new to this, the way that I think about a mock draft is it's not what I would do. It's not me being the GM, okay, this is who they should pick. I try to put my mind into the mindset of these GMs. What are they going to do? It's more of a prediction rather than me telling you what I would do, because what I would do is vastly different than some of these GMs. So those are pretty much the two caveats. You get trades. I'm doing what I think the GMs will do. And why don't we just get right into it? I've got the mock loaded up. Let's get right into it. And the Pistons, Jake made a good point. We kind of just go, oh, Cade Cunningham, and it's gone. One thing I want to say is there may be a 1% chance this pick is traded. Now, I know it probably won't. I know everyone hearing that is like, oh, Ricky, it won't. Don't fucking talk about it. There's probably a 1% chance this gets traded. If the Thunder want to take their own pick, plus all the plethora of picks that they have earned, I don't know. I think that would be worth it. Like, and even like the only two things that I would even entertain if I were the Pistons, a Thunder trade where I'm getting either S2J and a butt ton of picks, way more picks than what was reportedly offered. That's number one. I probably wouldn't accept it, but I would at least listen to it. The only one that I would think about accepting is the Rockets. If the Rockets are going to give me multiple picks on top of that number 2 overall pick, that's probably the only way I'm giving up Cade Cunningham is if I am guaranteed getting Jalen Green. I am getting one of those two players if I am the Detroit Pistons. So for me, they're keeping the pick though. It's Cade Cunningham. It's easy. Like, the pick does not move. Then we've got the Houston Rockets. This one, yet again, an easy one. They might try to trade up to the first overall pick. They're not going to, so it's the same exact thing as my 3.0. Boom. JG4, keeper moving. Here's where we get interesting. You guys see the logo. I put in the custom order, so some of my trades might be a little bit spoiled, but we got to trade. The Cavs are going to trade their pick, and hear me out. Hear me out. Cavs fans might be freaking out, but here's the trade that I have proposed, that I have going through. You have the Magic moving up to number 3, and the Cavaliers getting both the 5th overall pick and the 8th overall pick. And The reason why I do this, and hear me out before you attack me in the comment section, the Magic are going to be aggressive. They want to move ahead of the Raptors because of a couple things. One, if they like Evan Mobley, he's not going to be there at 5. If you like Jalen Suggs, he's not going to be there at 5. Hell, they might even be like, oh shoot, if we want Scotty Barnes, we might have to move ahead of the Raptors, because apparently the Raptors, news is they're a little high on Scotty Barnes. So that's number one of why the Magic may want to move up. The Cavs moving down, it is simple. There are rumors that the Cavs are aggressive in trying to add another top 10 pick, and really there's only, to me, 3 avenues that you do this. One, the least likely, is you trade Larry Nance Jr., and I say least likely because how many teams in the top 10 would want Larry Nance Jr. for a top 10 pick? I just think the value just isn't there for some teams. So, like, if I had a top 10 pick, depending on who I am, unless I'm like the Warriors, but like if I'm the Warriors, I got bigger fish to fry than Larry Nance Jr. So that's option number one. Option number 2 is a Colin Sexton trade. However, the Colin Sexton rumors were really heating up when they thought they were getting JG4. Now that everything seems like the Rockets, and in this one they did take JG4, where are you going to go? Like, who are we going to take? Like, yeah, we could take Suggs with this pick and then trade Colin Sexton, but it's all dependent on how sold are they on Suggs. Do you take Suggs here and then trade Colin Sexton? That's number 2 of how they can add in a top 10 pick. The last one is this trade. The Magic move up. This is basically a Luka Doncic, Trae Young kind of plaster here of, okay, we're going to swap. We've got a team in between us. The only difference is instead of that future first that you're getting 2 picks. And that's the thing. They'd be getting 2 top 10 picks, keeping their top 5 pick, but also getting an additional pick in the top 10. That's why I have this trade being accepted on the Cavaliers side. Then we get to the Magic. Who do they take? And I know many people are like, oh, so you're going to take Evan Mobley. Here's the options they have. Scotty Barnes, I don't think is the pick, unless they're like really like, that's the one, like, okay, that's who we're going to take. But that's at 6, or that was at 5, pardon me. I'm looking at where Scotty Barnes is on these rankings, and it got me a little confused. But now you're at 3. Evan Mobley could be the pick, and you could just say Bamba and Wendell be damned. Or you can look at Jalen Suggs, and you can go, okay, we can pair him. And for me, the question is, how much faith do you have in Markelle Fultz? How much do you have in Markelle? And for me, I feel like the bigs is such a situation in Orlando. Now, you might be disagreeing with me here and might say Evan Mobley is the pick, but I got him going with Jalen Suggs. And the reason why is I think that, like, Markelle coming off of the injury, like, Markelle had so much baggage coming into Orlando. Then he looked kind of good in Orlando. Now he's got the baggage of an injury. I think that might scare the Orlando Magic a bit to where it's like, okay, wait, we got an option to get Suggs. Let's go ahead and take Suggs and maybe a Suggs-Anthony backcourt. Or if Fultz does come back, then we've got 3 that we can kind of swap in and out. Options is never a problem in the NBA. So I have them going with, like I said, I have them going with Suggs. Then you look again. You see that team. It is not the Raptors that are picking there. I have another trade. 2 top 4 trades. And I know people are going to say keyboard warriors, oh, this is insane, unrealistic. It's fairly realistic because, so here's the trade before I go into it. I've got the Thunder trading up to 4. I got the Raptors kind of doing a similar thing that the Cavs did, where it's like, okay, we'll swap 4 and 6. We will take an additional first round pick. Here's the first caveat I want to say with this trade. If you are somebody that are like, that is not enough, you either need to add an additional first this year or a first next year. If you're one of those people that are like, okay, you need another first in this deal, fine. Throw the first in there. Like, for me, that's the one thing I was kind of debating is, would you need 2 picks in a future, 3 picks this year? Would you need 3 picks in general? I just went with the 2. If you think it's a 3-pick deal, go ahead, that's your opinion. You're right. Just throw the pick in there all willy-nilly, because the Thunder would throw the pick in there. The Thunder would be like, yeah, we want to throw that pick in there. And the reason why I make the move for the Raptors is, yes, Evan Mobley would help them, but I feel like gaining additional draft capital in this draft would help them more. They look like a team that is out of the championship window because they don't have Kawhi Leonard anymore, and maybe moving into a rebuild, or like Southsiders in Chicago like to say, a retool. The Pascal Siakam rumors have been out there. The trade rumors are there. So for me, that's why I have the Raptors moving back, getting additional draft capital. The Thunder, it's easy. Holy shit, Evan Mobley has fallen to 4. He's ours. Like, that's the thing. Like, if I am the Thunder, I am for sure trying to trade up with the Raptors to get Evan Mobley. Holy crap, one of the top 3 fell. So for me, that's why the two sides, they kind of want to do this trade. And with the Thunder, that's why I say, you need an extra pick, fine, throw it in there. Because I'm going to get whatever, like, I'm going to give you whatever I need in order to trade up and get Mobley and get that guy on my team. Plus, when they're seeking to get, they're going to get additional draft capital in a Kemba Walker trade at some point. Then we've got the Cavs here at number, what would this be? Number 5. And for me, I'm going with Scotty Barnes here. And the reason why with the Cavs, it's kind of like another reason this kind of goes into the trade, is the Cavs, when they thought they were going to be picking 5 through 10, they did their due diligence on guys outside of the top 4. So for me, I feel like, yes, it's like Evan Mobley would be great. Do we want just Evan Mobley, or would we want 2 of the guys that we might like between 5 and 10? Scotty Barnes is a guy that I think they've scouted from the beginning. He will be there then at 5 because of the shakeup within the top 4. I think they're happy with that. Okay, we didn't get Evan Mobley, but we got an additional pick. We still get a power forward, which we would have gotten. We still got that big that we would have gotten with Evan Mobley. Although some people, hey, Evan Mobley better than Scotty Barnes. But hey, they get their guy that they still like at number 5. Then I have the Raptors. This is another one where it's like, hey, we get a guy we like. Apparently, the Raptors like Jonathan Kuminga. They get Jonathan Kuminga, and then they're able to, hey, we added additional draft capital on top of that. Yeah, we didn't get Suggs. We didn't take Mobley, but we still get the guy we like while adding draft capital, adding to our assets. Then you see the logo there, and the logo is not the Golden State Warriors, and that is because I have to come over here and I have to put up another trade. And I know people are going to say, Ricky, you're getting too out of hand with the trades. I will say this mock does not have as many trades as my last mock. It's really top 10 heavy, and then it kind of just kind of goes away, because this is the one thing that I will say before I get into why the Grizzlies are here. I agree with the experts who say this could be the most moves we see in an NBA draft. So that's why with me, you're seeing a lot of moves, because I think there is going to be a lot of moves by these teams. Teams are going to be looking to trade because this is one of the deepest draft classes that we've ever seen. So with that being said, we get into how the Grizzlies got up here, and the rumor is the Warriors and Grizzlies have talked. Now the thing is, what would the Warriors want from the Grizzlies? Well, the Grizzlies, they want to move up. Their best trade partner is the Warriors, and they have guys in Desmond Bane, Grayson Allen, Xavier Tillman, Jasmine Jane, Grayson Allen, Javier Gilman, and then Jandon Jark. We get rid of the R. Jandon Jark. They have those guys that the Warriors would love. These like bench guys that could come in and fill some depth for them. Like Bane and Allen would be great with how they shoot from the outside. And then obviously Jark and Gilman could basically add some depth to their front court. Also, I have Kavan. So really here, the two that they would get, Brandon Clark, because the Grizzlies barely used him anyways. And then just a Desmond Bane of like, hey, you know what? We got to give up at least one Bane or Allen. We'll keep Allen, give away Bane. Clark we're not even using. And a pick swap. And then the Grizzlies would also get Kevon Looney, because it's like, hey, you're getting someone back, and that is someone that the Warriors might want to get off their books with the $5 million plus with Bane, you've got some kind of control because both Bane and Clark, their salaries are cheap. They're still on rookie deals. So that's why this deal is going down. The Warriors can say, hey, we still keep a top 10 pick. So if we want to go out there and get a Siakam, a Beal, anybody like that, we still have the ammo to do so. And they add some bench depth, which they really need. I know the one trade I had them giving away their bench depth to get in Siakam, I think it was, or no, that was the Colin Sexton trade, where they're giving that depth away. This, they're taking in that depth. And then after the draft, they'll see, hey, what pieces can we try to trade for Siakam, a Beal, any superstar that is available. Grizzlies here, they want to move up because they want to take their guy, and the rumors are the two guys that they are fixated on are either Jonathan Kuminga or James Bouknight. And with this one, James Bouknight's the guy. Kuminga was gone. The Grizzlies go, we got to move up. Warriors are the trade partner. They go ahead and get Bouknight at number 7. Then that leaves us our second pick for the Cavs from that Magic and Cavalier deal. And this is one that may surprise people. Some people may not go with this, but there are rumors behind it. Jalen Johnson is my pick here. And the reason why I say Jalen Johnson is apparently he came to work out with the Cavs and he impressed the Cavs. The Cavs are impressed with Jalen Johnson, and they want a player, a bigger wing that they can have on this team. So for me, I feel like that's another one. Okay, we got Scotty Barnes, but they really love Jalen Johnson. So at 8, they can take him because no other team kind of in this area later might. But right now, none of the teams ahead are looking at Jalen Johnson. So this is kind of one to where it's like, hey, he impressed them in the workout. They love him. They're going to take the guy that they love, Jalen Johnson, at number 8, and kind of do this and say, whew, we did a good job in our heads. Now it's time for the fans to react to it. Then we have the Kings at 9, and the Kings, they're going to go with the guy that I absolutely love in this draft. I think he's great, plays defense, can shoot the ball from the outside. He's been a guy that I really would like the Warriors to get, but even if they draft guys, it looks like they're just going to try to trade them away. Kings are going to go with Franz Wagner. You know, add a wing out there who plays some defense, shoots the 3-ball, and can contribute right away. Yes, yes, and yes. Take it all day. The Kings, I looked at, like I tried to look at them as a trade partner to move back and make some more picks or try to get more picks because they might have some holes they have to fill. Our Buddy Hield and Marvin Bagley could be getting shopped. I will have a trade featuring one of those two later on that does net the Kings another draft pick, so I will tease you ahead with that. The Kings will not be done in this first round, but yeah, they just take kind of, for me, the BPA, the guy that fits the best and is the best available player for them. Then you have the Warriors at 10, and this is a pick where I just feel like, yet again, like Davion Mitchell would fit. Some people like him there. Some people like Josh Giddey. I'm going, though, with Moses Moody. I think Moses Moody is a guy that the Warriors can look at and go, okay, we got Desmond Bane on this team, not really a point guard. Do we need a backup point guard? I also feel like they could say, hey, we're using these to see who we can trade. Even if we don't trade, Moses Moody fits with this team. He fits with what this team could need next to Steph and Clay and all that. So that's why with me, Moody's the pick for the Warriors, but I would put an asterisk that this may be picked for somebody else, that they like, hey, Moses Moody, because one of the teams we're looking to trade for might like a Moody over a Davion Mitchell here. So that's why Moody is the pick. Then the Hornets, I'm going to be completely honest, I'm confused on the Hornets. Like, there's rumors that they could trade for Miles Turner and give up the 11th pick. But with the Pacers, and I'm going to get to the Pacers, but the Pacers, why would the Pacers want, like, unless there's pick swapping and there's someone here that they think is ready to help them, I don't really know with the Pacers. I think it's more of like a trade out or pick where they're at is what they're going to end up doing. So 1, there's Miles Turner rumors. 2, there's rumors about Şengün being the guy that the Hornets like. And then there's Isaiah Jackson. There's kind of 3 things kind of floating around. The last one being spoken into existence by our own Soapy Muffin. But with me, it's been the pick all along for the Hornets, and it's kind of a broken record at this point, but I just got Şengün here. Like, take the best big on the board. With the Hornets, you can't do wrong because you've got a good team in general. LaMelo Ball has kind of made your team one of the funnest teams in basketball and a team that people want to come and play for, especially rookies, because, hey, we're playing with one of the funnest and one of the best young players in this league. So Şengün's the pick, but some people might disagree with that, might go with an Isaiah Jackson, might say, hey, we need to trade the pick for a big, but I think big is the answer. Then you see the Spurs are not picking at number 12. Got to trade with the 12th overall pick. Let me get the graphic in here so that you guys can see it. And it has to do with the New York Knicks. And the reason why I have this is I believe solely, or I believe firmly is what I should say. I believe that the Knicks are going to trade up in this draft. They are going to trade at least their 2 first-rounders, could be adding on their 32nd overall pick. They are going to be moving up for somebody. Who do they move up for? I don't know, but they're going to be moving up for somebody. The Spurs, on the other hand, the reason why, so the rumors are the Knicks offered this exact deal to the Warriors for the 14th overall pick. And the Warriors said, no, we don't want that. We're not looking for more draft capital. The Spurs, on the other hand, are a team that can take on this draft capital. They are a team that rumors of trading DeJounte Murray, rumors of trading Derek White. So for me, I look at the Spurs and I go, hey, instead of just picking at 12, take on additional draft capital because it looks like you guys are also headed into a rebuild. So why not get additional picks in the deepest draft that we've seen for some time? Go ahead, and the Knicks get to move up. And who are the Knicks moving up for? They're moving up for a guy that is going to be coveted. The rumors are, and I got to look down at my order for this, the rumors are the Pacers like him. There's rumors that there is no way he gets past the 15th pick if he is there for the Wizards, that they will take him. But there's also rumors that a team like the Lakers are looking to trade up for him, and that is Chris Duarte out of Oregon, where he is a guy that has impressed some of these teams where it's like the Pacers and the Wizards in there 13 and 15, that they can go ahead and take him. So for me, this is the Knicks. The Knicks like him, the Lakers like him, the Pacers like him, the Wizards like him. I think even the Hawks have been teased to be in the Duarte sweepstakes. The Knicks look at it and go, hey, we have the capital. Let's get a deal done with the Spurs. They're a team that could need some additional picks for their rebuild. Let's move ahead of the Wizards, ahead of the Pacers, and let's go ahead and take Chris Duarte, and that's what they do with the 12th overall pick. Then I have the Pacers. They're sitting there going, damn, we had our guy, and we let him kind of get away from us. I mean, get away. It's the team moved up ahead of you, and damn, he didn't fall to us. The Pacers need guys, though, that are NBA ready, that can step in and help them right away. And for the Pacers, the 13th pick, I have them keeping it. I have them going with Corey Kispert. The reason why is basically he adds shooting right away. That's one thing that they could use, is more shooters. Shooting is never bad. Go ahead and take him. He adds shooting to your team. Then you see that I have the Pacers at 14. And how did they get the 14th overall pick? Well, this one is all rumor based. Does it happen? I don't know. But this is from the rumors of everyone coming around, is that Miles Turner, there have been talks between the Pacers and Warriors. Do they get a deal done? We will see. But the terms of the deal are basically, hey, we're going to swap Turner and Oubre. We'll give you the 14th overall pick. The Warriors, in my mind, the Warriors then are out of the Pascal Siakam sweepstakes. So some people might say, Ricky, you fucked up with the Moses Moody pick. I just think he was BPA, and that's what the Warriors will do. Get BPA, sign someone on the vet minimum, maybe to be that backup ball handler, or if they believe in Damian Lee to be the backup point guard. But yeah, they get Miles Turner, they give up Kelly Oubre, who's been hot and cold, yes and no, and they give up a pick that really they were not going to use anyways. If they made the pick, it was to trade to someone and use as assets to trade to someone. Where do the Pacers go from here? Because like I said, maybe they trade out. They need guys that are NBA ready. The whole reason they made this deal is you're looking at bigs. They could look for a big in the free agent market, just somebody to kind of add to this team. Or if they're like, you know what, Goga Batazde is our guy. I look at it though and I go, Jared Butler would be a great piece for this Indiana team, to where they are somebody who is looking to shop Aaron Holiday. Their backup point guards, they need somebody. He can be someone that can play next to Brogdon, like he did next to Davion Mitchell, but he could also run that second unit. He gives you shooting, he gives you defense, he gives you passing, he gives you everything that you would need, and he's an older player, could step in right away and kind of play. I know people are going to say health concerns, but hey, he's been cleared. If he's been cleared, we got nothing to worry about when it's been in that case, because yeah, things can flare up again, but right now, he's been cleared. That's the bottom line. He has been cleared. End of story. Then we've got the Wizards, and they're kind of sitting there going, damn, both of the guys were taken. They're kind of going to go with BPA on my board as well. Some Keon Johnson, who adds some things that they would like. They just got to teach them how to shoot. So adding that guard that can play defense. It was either going to be him, Butler, Duarte, Jaden Springer. One of those guys would be the pick. And if all of them were gone, then an Isaiah Jackson would be a good pick here if they wanted to go big. But I'm going with guard, going BPA with Keon Johnson. Then you've got the Raptors. This is from that trade with the Thunder where they swapped the 4th and the 6th pick. I have got the Raptors going with Josh Giddey here. You've got Kyle Lowry, who's probably out the door. You look at this then, you get Kuminga, who's a guy in the top 5 that they like. You get him at 6. And then you get a point guard as well, a Josh Giddey, to pair next to Fred VanVleet. I know they have Malachi Flynn. I think the Raptors are higher on Malachi Flynn than I've heard like Dave and Jake, more so Dave, be on Malachi Flynn. They drafted him. They liked him. Josh Giddey gives them that replacement to Kyle Lowry. They have 2 young point guards then that they can try to pair next to Fred VanVleet in their backcourt. Then we have the Pelicans. This is the pick that they got from Memphis. Would they have loved Josh Giddey here? They would. This is why. So Josh Giddey is gone. In my last mock, I had them go with a point guard because they were giving away Lonzo Ball. In this one, they're not giving away Lonzo Ball. They have both Lonzo right now. Could trade him after the fact. He is an RFA. And then they do have Kyra Lewis? Yeah, Kyra Lewis, I think is how you say it. So I'm not going point guard here. I know Davion and Sharif are there. I'm not going point guard. I am going with something that they desperately need. Some people might see this as a reach, but I am still going to do it. I am going Trey Murphy III out of Virginia. This is a team that needs 3-and-D. Well, really 3-and-D, but they need defense on the outside. They need 3-point shooting. That's what Trey Murphy can bring, 3-and-D. So to me, I look at it, I go, hey, I want that. I want that shooting. If I am the Pelicans, I take it, I move on, I go into my second round pick saying, okay, who do I want to target there? Then we have the Thunder. The Thunder end the fall. Davion Mitchell, they get him at 18. They go ahead and say, great. We get a guy who some see in the top 10. We go ahead and get him all the way down at 18. He falls a little bit from where some feel he is, but you know, it's all about, hey, where's the potential in it? They can take him. Thunder are all about potential. So BPA, take it, keep it moving. Then the Spurs. So the Spurs are going to have 2 picks with a Hawk pick in between. And I'm kind of thinking one has to be a point guard. So Sharif Cooper is there. But here's the way you got to play this if you're the Spurs. 1, who are the Hawks going to want to take? And 2, who, if you take who the Hawks take, is a team going to trade up and take Sharif Cooper? I don't think there's a team that would trade up and take Sharif Cooper, but there is a player that I think the Hawks would take. And really, there's 2. Like, I think the Hawks would prefer Kai Jones over an Isaiah Jackson. Now, some people may say the Spurs, are like, oh, let's just go with Isaiah Jackson. This is to me where it's like, okay, Spurs, which one do you want? Do you want Isaiah? Do you want Kai Jones? I'm going off of my personal big board here. If you think Kai Jones would be the pick for the Spurs, that's fine. I'm going Isaiah Jackson to the Spurs. That then leaves the Hawks. The Hawks are a team that I saw in Jake's comment section where some people said that, oh, the Hawks are ready to compete now. They don't need projects. But, they got the John Collins question. They do have the Clint Capella question down the road. Onyeka Okongwu did look good, but he did have an injury. I just go ahead and say screw it. Like, you could go Jaden Springer here. You could go Jaden Springer here. You could go Cam Thomas here. You could go like Quentin Grimes, Nishawn Highland, these guards that are like, okay, they can help us now. I have them going front court, though. I have them going with Kai Jones just because we don't know for sure what's going to go on with John Collins, Clint Capella's future, Onyeka Okongwu post-injury. So, hey, we're just going to add some talent to that backcourt and kind of keep these rookie contracts on the team and kind of keep these control guys that we can have and kind of move the big ones if we have to. Then that leaves the Spurs. I talked about it already. They're looking to trade Murray. They're looking to trade White. Point guard, point guard, point guard. Sharif Cooper's there. Sharif Cooper is the pick for the Spurs. Then at 22, you're looking at it. You're going, Ricky, that is not the LA Lakers. Why is it not the LA Lakers? Let me pull it up so you guys can see it and we can talk about it. But the trade is, I'm keeping this from my 3.0. Some of you guys didn't like that I had Corey Joseph in this deal. Some of you thought that, I'd like the second round picks, but Corey Joseph isn't a needle mover. Take out Corey Joseph then if you want. I'm just adding him in there because the Lakers are going to need something. They're going to need at least a veteran body. With Schroeder leaving, there is rumors that they're trying to trade Kyle Kuzma for something. It's kind of like I heard Colin Cowherd said, when LeBron doesn't win a ring, you get whacked, and Kyle Kuzma, it may be looking like you're getting whacked. You're going to get traded to another team. Pistons here, I'm speaking it into existence for my boy Soaps. He got the first overall pick. He's getting Cade Cunningham. Congratulations to Soap and Piston Nation. But I'm also speaking into existence a guy he wants, Nishawn Bones Highland at number 22. So that's who I've got the Pistons trading up for there. And then that's going to do it. Their second round pick, they'll probably take a draft and stasher. Then we got the Rockets picks. And for me, I've got kind of two things really. Their needs are either take BPA, take some front court versatility, or a primary ball handler. The first one in my mind, you're going to take some BPA because he on my board is higher than the rest. Ayo Dosunmu. Then take some front court versatility in quotes, but not really versatile player. He would have to grow offensively, but Usman Garuba. Really one of the weaknesses with Christian Wood is his physicality versus some big. So like if you put Garuba next to him, Garuba ain't going to be that problem physically against guys. So that can kind of play into, okay, we're playing to Christian Wood's kind of weaknesses by adding Usman Garuba next to him. Then that brings up the Clippers. This is where we kind of get to, okay, I've already kind of said this stuff before, where Trey Man's the pick. You're either taking a point guard or the best guard that's available, whether it's Ayo Dosunmu, Trey Man, Cameron Thomas. Like, you're just kind of taking that guy. So Trey Man is the pick for the Clippers. Then the Nuggets, I know in my last mock I had them trade the pick. They don't trade the pick here. I have Cam Thomas, like I did in my, I think it was my 2.0. Just add some shooting for this team. Add some shooting. A guy that even if Jamal Murray gets injured again, you don't lose that shooting that you'll lose with Jamal Murray off the court. Then the Nets, I do like Dominis Queta here. I do like them adding a big, but I do also like Miles McBride. They also have some, the reason why McBride over Queta, though, is they do have second-round picks. There are bigs later in the second, so you can package some together to move up, or you can try to get a big later in the draft, a more developing big, but at least you're drafting a big. Then my last trade of the first round you're looking at it and you're like, why are the Kings there? That should be the Philadelphia 76ers. And the reason why it is the Kings is I did mention how, hey, either Buddy Hield or Marvin Bagley were going to get moved. I have a Bagley deal. This is the one that's kind of been out there in rumors. I say go ahead and do it because the Sixers are rumored to be trading out of 28, that no one's expecting them to make that pick. So, like, I looked at this deal. It was from, I think it was the local newspaper in Sacramento. And the Sixers can move on from Toby's contract. They add in Buddy Hield, who would help them better than Toby would. DeLon Wright just kind of in there to make some contracts work. And then it's like, okay, because we're taking this kind of player off of you and Toby, and it's more of like a dump than an actual asset thing for us, the Kings would just get the 28th overall pick. And then the Sixers could kind of work in free agency for what they need. What do they need to get past where they were and get to an NBA Finals? So the Kings have the pick. Earlier on, I had them go with Franz Wagner. And this one is just kind of, okay, we're going to take some, they could go Zaire Williams, they could go Primo. I hear Primo rising. I don't have him in my first round. I got Jaden Springer. If you got Primo, take Primo. Springer's the pick that I went with, just kind of a two-guard to add to this team that can help them. Then the last two, and the last two I have going with point guards. The Suns, I have them going with my next best available point guard, which would be Jason Preston out of Ohio. I really like him. I've liked him ever since I've seen him play against Illinois earlier in the year, and then kind of just followed him up until their tourney run. So, I mean, with the Suns going point guard, like, you could either, like, this is all because of, like, okay, are you worried you're going to lose either Cam Payne or Chris Paul and have to add a point guard to this team? I don't know about Chris Paul. I think he's a loyal guy, but, you know, loyalty can never be, like, not everyone's Giannis. But Cam Payne might go and chase a paycheck. He might say, give me that money. And then you can have Chris Paul and Preston be your backcourt for this team. Then with the Jazz, they're in kind of a similar situation. Like, I had them trade the last time, but didn't have them trade this time. They're going to go with the point guard, though, in this sense. They're going to go with Joel Ayayi out of Gonzaga. Just kind of adding that guard for this team that they can add in and just say, okay, let's go. Miles McBride is the pick that I wanted, but he got taken by the Nets, so obviously he can't get taken by the Utah Jazz. So just a quick rundown of how we're going to do things. I'm going to have the pick show up. Let's kind of run through the order before we get the hell out of here. 1 through 10, we got Cade Cunningham to the Pistons, Jalen Green to the Rockets at 2, Jalen Suggs going to the Magic at 3, Evan Mobley 4th overall to the Thunder, Scotty Barnes 5th overall to the Cavs, Jonathan Kuminga 6th overall to the Toronto Raptors, the Grizzlies at 7 taking James Bouknight, Cavs at 8 going Jalen Johnson, Kings at 9 going Franz Wagner, Warriors at 10 going Moses Moody. Then we have the Hornets at 11 going Alperen Şengün. We got 12, the Knicks trading up for Chris Duarte. The Pacers at 13 and 14 going with Corey Kispert and Jared Butler. 15, the Wizards go with Keon Johnson. Josh Giddey is number 16 to the Toronto Raptors. Trey Murphy going to the Pelicans at 17. Thunder at 18 going Davion Mitchell. Spurs at 19 going Isaiah Jackson. Hawks at 20 going Kai Jones. The Spurs again going with Sharif Cooper at 21. Bones Highland going to the Pistons at 22. Ayo Dosunmu going to the Rockets at 23, along with Usman Garuba at 24 to Houston. Trey Mann to the Clippers at 25. Cam Thomas to the Nuggets at 26. Miles McBride to the Nets at 27. The Kings trading in for Jaden Springer at 28. Jason Preston to the Suns at 29. And then rounding it out is Joel Ayayi at 32, the Jazz. And that is going to do it for this mock. I want to thank you guys for making it all the way through. Make sure to let me know what you think down below about this final mock. Was it as crazy, less crazy than my last mock? Let me know about that as well. Let me know about what you guys think are going to go on as well. Remember, forgot to punch it at the top, but I will punch it right now. We will be reacting to the entire draft tomorrow night. So go ahead, hit that sub button, hit that notification button so that you're aware when we go live. We'll probably go live a little bit, probably 15 to a half hour, probably a half hour before draft time. That's what we did for the NFL draft, so we can kind of talk about some things, do a little pre-show before the draft. So check that out. We're going to be live tomorrow. Plus, we have a ton of post-draft content coming out after the draft. Number 2, hit that subscribe button. Support us on Patreon and be a channel member if you want to support us. Those links are down below. And also join the Discord if you love talking NBA or draft. We have a great community talking these subjects and all sports each and every day. It is free to join the MVP Discord. That link is down below as well. That is going to do it for this mock, my last mock. I hope it is a fun draft. I hope everyone gets what they want, especially me, which is the Bulls trading into the first round, even though I didn't have it. Bulls trading into the first round, getting Ayo Dosunmu. Please, please, please let it happen. But that's going to do it for me. We will see you all for the draft. Thank you guys for being as great as you always are. And as always, have a good day, everybody.